Hi there. It's the Tobias, the Adequate Video Blog for the 2nd of December, 2015, delayed by a couple of days because of a technology failure in which I learned that there is a finite amount of space I have on my iPhone to record blogs, so I got me a new piece of technology, and cheap, thankfully, used piece of technology. It looks like that, and with any luck, this will be a marvelous thing that I can continue to do post-production on. I used it to do the production on the last video I posted, so if you like that, as I get more competent, I will be able to do more of that sort of thing. All right, where were we? This last weekend was Dickens on Maine. Friday was really warm and muggy until about 4 o'clock, and then it was really cold, and then it became really rainy. And like most sane people would say, screw this and leave. But no, I have work ethic. So what I did is I went out and I took a golf umbrella and I bungee corded it to a boom microphone, and I put that all at the highest elevation. And so I had an umbrella over my head, and I did my show at 5 o'clock with the 7 brave, lucky people who huddled together for warmth as I did my show. The 7 of you, I don't know who you are, but thank you. You helped me fulfill a contractual obligation and also my own personal work ethic. Saturday was a lot easier. Saturday was cold, but nice. We had good crowds. I shared the stage with Bah Humbug, One Man's Christmas Carol, and that was an interesting experience indeed. Well, we had great crowds all of Saturday, and I got serenaded by a caroling group that were all dressed also in Victorian togs. Wound up standing about 3 yards from them, and there was a crowd about 3 yards behind me, so my back was to the audience. So when they started singing, I just started waving my hands because, well, that's apparently what choir instructors do. Well, that's what the choir director told me anyway, as I was helplessly flailing my hands, and they were singing 2 more verses of Jingle Bells than most Americans know exist. That was a lot of fun. And we're going to do it again next year, of course. Hopefully, I will be back. If you are in the San Antonio area the weekend after Thanksgiving, it is always a fine thing. You can get up to Bernie in about a half hour to an hour, depending on traffic. It's worth going. It's a free event, and it's a big hoot. This weekend, we rest. We also pack Christmas presents. We also prepare for set the tassel. The other side, we also prepare for the Ingleside Renaissance Festival in Ingleside, Texas. That's on the other side of the bay from Corpus Christi. And what you can do there is this is a civic Renaissance Festival. It's been going on for quite a few years now. There are some really good acts in it. We have a really good falconry show. Tartanic is there. We have jugglers. We have me. We have the wonderful tree guy. I can never remember his name, but I'll put it up here if I can remember it to do it in post-production. We have all kinds of vendors and all kinds of food, and it's definitely worth it if you're in the area and can survive driving in Corpus Christi, because the people in Corpus Christi drive in a really surreal, non-Euclidean manner. Not the kind where you think it's dangerous, but the kind you actually have to sit back and go, whoa, he did that. More shameless self-promotion. Yes, I've been told that I needed to change my theme music because it was the whole punk rock aesthetic was a little too harsh for certain parties, and that's okay. I'll just keep going until I get it right. I should tell you about OTTV. The Overtime Theater, your home for live, local, and original theater in San Antonio, logo, is going to be hosting a series of original serial plays. By a serial play, I mean that there's a new episode every week. And we're doing it, calling it OTTV. What that means is that we will have, for the first series, we have 2 plays, one called Rift Riders, which is a science fiction adventure, and one is The Secret Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. But there's this break in between them, where they have to change the set. And rather than just have a boring 15-minute intermission, they decided to put up something called a scene change. And this time around, they're going to feature me as the scene change. I will be the moving distraction to entertain people while they're moving the scenery around. This is happening the last week in January and the first weekend in February. If anything changes, I will let you know. There is also going to be the Tobias the Adequate Epic Indoor Magic Show, which will occur sometime in 2016. As soon as I know, you'll know. And as soon as I know, I may start putting some things in motion for trying to make this really awesome. Speaking of awesome, this is the shameless plug for Patreon, or Patreon, depending on how you look at it. Patreon.com/theadequate. Here's the business plan. I am going to be performing at least one live magic act every month. I'm going to do my best to record that one live magic act every month and post it every month. What I'm going to ask you is if you can afford to spend $1 per month to get new, live, and hopefully fairly original, or at least very entertaining, magic from me. $12 a year, at least 12 videos, and if you become a Patreon member, I will be putting special cool stuff in there, including a blog entry that only the Patreon members get to see because that's when I take off the fez and stuff gets real. Or at least stuff gets a little less nice. I don't know how we're going to pitch that. Come watch a magician rant. Well, there will be a rant after this. If you're a Patreon guy, the three of you know who you are. Quigley, Bubba, Singularity Sky, thank you so much. I love you guys. I want you to check it out because it does talk a little bit about something that kind of gets on my nerves and probably gets on the nerves of every other performer out there. Having done all that, that's all of our shameless plugs. What else have we got? Wow, it's kind of a brief one this time, but we'll see how this works. I'm capturing this directly on my laptop as opposed to on my phone, so we'll see just how crappy the video is. We'll edit this, we'll tune it up, we'll make it all shiny. We'll probably add some more music. We'll see whether or not I get in trouble from YouTube for using little tiny snippets of music for my playthroughs. Which does remind me, if there's anyone out there within the sound of my voice who happens to have some music, original music, that they would like to donate to the cause, or a video blog made by an idiot wearing a fez, please let me know. I'd love to see it. Actually, no, I'd love to hear it. If I see it, I can't read sheet music well, so I probably should hear it. Once again, this is Tobias. This has been the blog. And once again, thank you for encouraging my behavior. Any minute now. Oh, I gotta push the button, sorry.